Hello everyone, how are you? This is yours truly, Triple G, coming at you once again. And as teased in my previous video, which I will link right here, I am starting a new series and it's gonna start with my collection videos. So, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background, I started my YouTube channel way back when. And I didn't think I was gonna end up like this. It was just like videos of my kids playing piano and stuff like that, just some silly stuff. And then, I stumbled upon at that time a video by someone, I forget who was showing off his guitar collection, and I thought, oh, that seems fun, I will do that too, just to share, not to gloat or anything like that, just to share. And this is way back when, like when Ola wasn't doing YouTube. There was no Gear Gods, none of those channels existed back then. Like Justin Sandercoe was the only guy doing guitar back then. So that's when I started my YouTube channel. But then right around 2011, 2010 or so, in this very setting, my couch has changed actually, and I've gotten older and less hairy and stuff like that. So in this very setting, I did 3 guitar collection videos. One was a single cut collection, double cut collection, and then like an odd shape, like the Explorers and V's and whatever. So those 3 videos I did, and those actually still to this day are like popular videos of my YouTube channel. And couple that with, fast forward to 2018, late September, I have issues on both of my arms where I can't really play or practice to show you new gear. So instead of waiting for that, I thought I would start a new series and start with the updated collection videos to kind of share with you and go from there. Just to be clear, like I always say on one of other guitar chat videos, I buy everything I show you. Obviously, nobody in their right mind would sponsor an equipment to my channel because I suck, I'm a big poser. I am horrendous, atrocious. So I don't expect that. So everything that I show you is stuff that I've acquired with my own money. So I have a freedom of expression, for lack of better terms. I could say whatever the hell I want. And I don't buy guitars to have a YouTube channel. I look at it as I have a YouTube channel because I have a pretty decent collection, is the way I look at it. And like the other day I said, every one of these guitars and other guitars that I'm gonna show you on next 4 episodes, each guitar invokes a certain different emotion to me, and I'm sure you guys, a lot of you feel the same way. When you hear a certain song, it takes you back to, when you were 17, when you were out on the date with your girlfriend, or, when you listen to a certain song, maybe you remember a day your mother passed away, something like that. So each of these guitars have a certain value to me in terms of like emotional attachment. It's not just, it's not just all about disposable income. And before I start going over the guitars, I'll share with you, if I could get rid of all my guitars and just be left with one, but be as skillful and as great and have chops like Rick Graham, I would gladly do it. Kudos to guys like Rick who put in the time, honing on their craft, improving their craft to, really get to where they are. I have so much respect for people like that. As is, I have multiple businesses that I have to run. I have a full family, dogs, and everything else. Time to practice is few and far in between. My kids being 18 and 16, when they're home, their time is spent on studying for college. So I can't really bust out and make all kinds of noise like I want to. So that's kind of my practice time is limited in that sense. But, I look at these guitars and they're like art to me. I don't go buy art to hang on the wall. I don't, buy expensive cars to display in my garage. This is my treasure, right? So, way I look at guitars, they're just really beautiful to me. So not only they sound good when they're in the right hands of people making beautiful music, but they're also really cool to look at, and that's where I kind of get off. Okay, so that's the introduction. Let's now look at the guitars, right? So I got 3 of them right now just laying on the couch. You can't see, so I'll rotate towards the end so you can see that. So we'll start from way over there on the top row. So that's a guitar that I did unboxing for yesterday. That's an Ibanez Jiva 10 Nita Strauss signature model. The finish is called the Deep Space Blonde, which I totally spaced out on yesterday, so I didn't know what they were called. So that's a Deep Space Blonde, beautiful maple quilted top on mahogany body, ebony fretboard. The inlay markers that I yesterday talked about, if you haven't looked at it, by the way, go look right here, I'll link. Inlay marker is called a Beaten Path. It's got like a seismic meter reading or EKG reading of a heartbeat. Beautiful guitar. Yesterday I plugged it in for just real briefly, just to kind of test out, make sure guitar arrived in okay shape after I did the unboxing video. The humbuck, the bridge pickup on that guitar is so thick. Arguably the thickest tone I've heard on, you know, the guitars. And then the neck pickup is very sweet, but I could see how it may get out of control on the upper register if you're not careful dialing in tone. So that's the Ibanez Jiva 10, which I love. Next to that is E2 by ESP. SN2 is the model name in emerald green, flamed maple. Beautiful guitar. I got that secondhand from a local guy here. So E2, if you don't know, ESP did a shuffling of their brands a couple years ago. So one year they decided to do this thing called the LTD Elite for slightly higher than just the LTD guitars, but made in Japan, right? But the following year they decided to do away with the LTD Elite brand name and decide to do E2, and that's one of the E2 guitars. And as you can expect, just build quality is a sweet and just a spot on. By the way, the guitars that I'm showing you today are what I call shredder collection in my collection. Like guitars over here, these could have been easily gone to my double cut collection video, but I have different guitars for those that I thought weren't necessarily shredderific. So a lot of guitars you're gonna see today are gonna be double cuts. So they could either fall here or to the other group. So no confusion there. Third guitar from the top over there, that's Ibanez RG 1570 Prestige. And as the Prestige moniker indicates, it's a great guitar. I actually love the V7 and the V8 pickups in that by DiMarzio. I think a lot of people actually hate those pickups, but I tend to like those, so no problem for me. And the neck profile, just all the Ibanez actually guitars. Beautiful guitar. The middle pickup does get in the way of my poor playing though. So that's that. And one next to that is, as you guys know, that's an Ernie Ball Music Man Majesty in Frost White. Is it called Frost White? Yeah, I think so. So that's a John Petrucci of Dream Theater signature guitar. Oh, and you know, that's just beautiful guitar. The shield on the top, it's you know, laser etched maple top that they made it look like carbon fiber weaving. It's just a phenomenal guitar. And you know, upper fret register access is so great. If that guitar is in the hands of a right person, it could do some amazing things. And it's just so comfortable to play. The body contour is just on the money. And one right next to that is the same Music Man Ernie Ball John Petrucci signature guitar JP16. So this is the only John Petrucci guitar that comes with a Floyd Rose. So, you know, a lot of people don't like that because, you know, they want the Ernie Ball trem with the piezo and, you know, whatever, but I happen to like that guitar and it's really super easy to play. It just feels right in the hands. and all the usual appointments of a shield and the bullet inlay markers. And I love the roasted neck, maple neck, and then the headstock carries that theme. Just great overall guitar. Lots of options with the coil tap, and you know. And then we move on to another Ibanez of mine. That's an Ibanez Steve Vai Gem Woody. So it's all mahogany body with very well done pickguard, and is pickups with the DiMarzio pickups with steampunk theme pickup covers. What a beautiful guitar. I've never really been a huge fan of Steve Vai, although lately I've grown more appreciation towards his music and his playing. Some of the things he does a little over the top, I get it, but you know, the guitar I happen to really love. And as I say about signature guitars, you know, I feel like the signature guitars need to be able to stand on their own without being attached to the artist. So if a guitar is a great guitar without being associated with whoever is endorsing it or whoever is the signature model it is, that goes to say how great that guitar is, and another stellar example of that thought. And then right next to that is, I got that guitar used, which is a Jackson US Soloist. It's the Soloist 2 model, H2. H1, I believe, has the middle single coil pickup, or is it may be single hum. I forget the designation. But I got the 2 humbucker version, and guy who owned it before me had a D-tuna fitted into it. So that's a little weird because the cavity is not done to accommodate the D-tuna, obviously, when they made that guitar. So when you pull up, it's gonna, D-tuna thing is gonna actually hit the body. So they have a trem block on the back. So I'm, you know, learning to deal with it. But that guitar harkens back to, you know, my youth when I grew up, you know, the Jackson Soloist, the 80s metal, you know, the shark fin inlay, just on the money, right? Love that guitar. So speaking of getting it used, so that's used. JP16, I got that used. And let's see, I'll tell you which one I got used as I go move forward. All right, so now we're gonna go bottom row that way. So this is one of the recent guitars I showed you guys. It's the Jackson Soloist Mahogany. Got a beautiful quilted veneer top. I think it's a veneer top with the tooth inlay. Seymour Duncan pickups, a hardtail. I got the hardtail because my US Soloist has a floating trim. So that's you know, beautiful guitar. You know, don't let Made in Indonesia thing fool you. They've come a long way. They are producing some bang-on guitar at great value. So the Jackson Soloist is a great guitar, and that's the guitar that I was holding when I did the Chronicle of a Serial Guitar Buyer introduction video, which again, I will link right here. Kirk Hammett ESP LTD limited edition Ouija board guitar. So the LTD version, they've made only 666 of them, and they made 12 of the ESP version, which sells for $12,000, by the way, just out of control. I am happy with my LTD version. It's a solid, great guitar. And this, I'll show you a little later, that's lying on the top. That's actually KH602. In essence, it's this guitar without the paint job. So that's that. The next guitar I got used, that I got a secondhand, that's a PV Wolfgang Eddie Van Halen guitar. So that's when as Eddie was hopping from guitar company to guitar company to guitar company, when he was with PV, that was the signature guitar that he introduced. It's got Floyd, it's got D-tuna, and what's the cut of name? The Bird's Eye Maple on the fretboard and the neck. Just a great guitar, and unlike the EVH that comes out right now, the top of the headstock actually has wood there. It's not a fish mouth, whatever it's called. But great guitar, bolt-on, just superb. Bare bone rocking machine, got volume, master volume, master tone. Great guitar. We'll go right next to it. In a somewhat similar theme, next 3 guitars. So that's a Char Val ProMod Ferrari Red. It's got DiMarzio Tone Zone, DiMarzio Evolution, I think. I may be screwed up on the pickups. It's been a while. It's got Floyd Rose that's only available for pull-up, and just got 1 master volume, no tone. It's just a straight up rock machine, maple neck, maple board. Just a damn nice guitar. I love sweet tone. The DiMarzio pickups in that guitar, just epic. So sweet, just a spot on. One of my favorite guitars, one of the ones that I'm not gonna sell. So that's actually a model that they did in United States back in 2012, was it? 2011-ish? Maybe even before that, 2009, before they moved that model to Mexico. So that's made in US and really nice stuff. All right, so moving right next to it is an actual EVH branded Stripe Series guitar. So the DNA is very similar from going from here to there to there. It's got maple neck, maple board, same Fender licensed headstock, locking trim, D-tuner. Only comes with the bridge pickup, however, and 1 master volume that has the tone knob on it actually, which is really funny. That guitar, during my ownership, the neck shrunk just a hair where the fret wires are sticking out just a little bit, so I have to file them down right now. But overall, just an epic guitar. Really, just if you want Eddie Van Halen vibe, I mean, you're gonna get that just strapping that on. The guitar next to that, that was a new guitar. So that's an LTD by ESP SN1000. So it's a slightly more cost-effective version than the E2 Emerald Green I showed you, the second guitar from the top. So this thing has Floyd Rose, Fishman Fluence pickups. I think it's got the new Fishman Fluences in it, and I got it for like 400, 500, some stupid price. I had to get it from a local vendor, local ESP dealer. So I ran over there and I got it before the guy changed his mind. But it's a new guitar, sweet, sweet guitar. And back then when I bought that guitar, I don't think I had another guitar with the Fishman Fluence. So that's that great shredder guitar, epic, good stuff. And then right next to it, another one of a recent acquisition. That's a Jackson Gus G X Series Star guitar with Seymour Duncan Blackout Gus G edition. Hardtail, 1 master volume, satin neck. Phenomenal guitar for the value, by the way. It did come a little bit mangled. If you haven't seen it, I will link it right here. Watch the video. It came a little bit mangled, albeit it was a brand new guitar. From the showroom where it was hung, I think it got molested a little bit. But right now, I took care of it. It's playing beautifully. A great guitar. Again, the value proposition there is phenomenal on that guitar as well. And then all the way to that direction with the ominous satin black looking, that's ESP, that's an Edwards by ESP Alexi Laiho signature guitar. So Edwards, if you're not familiar, I have a bunch of them to come later on different episodes. Edwards is a brand that ESP uses to market within Japan. So they're not here readily available in US. You do have to fly it in or work with other dealers that bring Edwards into US soil. So that was a hard guitar to get. So I flew that in from Japan. The quality is above LTD because it's made in ESP's Japanese factory, not Indonesia or Korea. It got the Floyd, got bridge pickup, and it's got scalloped frets on the upper register, four frets, and sawtooth inlay. Great shredding machine. Correct that I don't shred, I can't shred, but in right hands that would make a phenomenal guitar. But it's a beautiful guitar to look at, beautiful guitar to play, just overall. And on the back side of it, it's got Children of Bodom Hate Crew emblem, COBHC, imprinted on the backside, which is great. So that's that. And all right, so I'm gonna pause the video real quick. I'm gonna rotate guitar so you can see the 3 that I have lying on the couch. I'm gonna bring those forward, and we'll pick up right where we leave off. Okay, so we're gonna pick up right where we left off. So for just the ease of, so quickly I could roll this, I just brought the 3 that were on the couch to the front. So we'll go this direction again. So we'll start with this right here, which is sitting right next to the PV Wolfgang we looked at short seconds ago. So that's a Legate. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, even though the owner of the company I've met multiple times and good friends with. So that's a Ninja Pro 300 in a satin natural flame maple finish. It's got their proprietary pickups. What's unique about that guitar? The satin finish, the front and back, the back is mahogany, so smooth, and the neck is so well finished. It's just really smooth, buttery, just for speed demons to just shred up and down the neck with zero resistance. That's what that guitar is all about. And their guitars have this unique neck profile that is super comfortable. Not as thin as Ibanez, I don't think, but not a chunky neck. It's just very unique profile. I don't think I've felt that profile like on other competing companies' guitars. So just overall great guitar. All right, so we'll move on, and that's a ESP LTD Kirk Hammett signature KH602. I got that guitar secondhand used from a guy in Carlsbad, California. Usual appointments, I think that's equipped with EMG 81 and EMG 81 on both the neck and bridge position. The neck is with the polyurethane, it's got the glossy finish, so it's not as smooth, but it is well finished. And the skull and bones inlay markers, the Floyd Rose, 3-way toggle, all black, what you would expect from Metallica. So great guitar. I think I used that guitar a bunch of times on my videos, my other cover videos and other, whatnot. Okay, so moving one over that way, that's a Charvel ProMod. That's like a 2018 model. So that's made in Mexico. It's got some identity crisis going on. It's got the tele body. So it's basically a single cut, but it's got the headstock of a Fender Strat, the famous double cut guitar. Then it has a Floyd Rose on it. So there's a bunch of identity crisis going on with that guitar. But that thing has what Charvel calls a 6-pack of tone. So with the variety of a pull, push, knob, and the parallel phasing and everything, it's very versatile in terms of tone palette that it provides you as a guitar player. I haven't made a guitar chat video of that guitar, but as you can expect from a Charvel guitar, it's just easy in hands. It's just well playing, very comfortable guitar. Another guitar, I feel that value proposition is just bang on, just spot on. If you are considering to buy one of those Charvel ProMods, run to the store and order one. All right, so that's that. And this here that's been hiding next to me, this is a rare, as you can see, I have a bunch of Jacksons, Ibanez's, and what have you, but I don't have a whole lot of Schecters because usually their neck profile is too thick for my liking. But here's a Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder with the EMG Retroactive Series pickups. So just by looking at it, you know where the DNA of this guitar came from. So it's a lot like the Charvels I've shown you earlier. Very close to the E2 SN2 guitar that's up at the top. So it's just all straight up shred machine with the Lambo orange finish. I love this guitar. This streets at like a 620, you guys. I mean, the pickup set alone is close to $300. And unlike the sterile EMG 81s and 60s and what have you, the retroactive series gives you a little bit more organic tone that I actually happen to like. The back of the neck is a satin, just really well finished. There's really not a whole lot to fault on this guitar. It's a well-playing machine. The sound is killer. It looks killer. I mean, for $600, you could do a lot worse. I'll tell you that right now. Made in a Korean factory, highly recommended. So that's the Schecter Sun Valley. And then throughout this entire episode, I've been holding on to this guitar here. This is a Char Val ProMod Dinky Satchel signature guitar in the tiger finish. And the body is a satin, very bright neon yellow with the tiger black stripes. Got Fishman Fluence pickups, a master volume, three-way short toggle, and a Floyd Rose, maple neck, one-piece maple neck, and then maple fretboard, usual appointments up here. Just a beautiful guitar. Look, I'm an 80s child. I was born in 72, grew up in the 80s listening to metal. I was listening to all the stolen records, illegally imported crap from Japan when I was in Korea. And you know, that's how my youth was defined, listening to metal that was not available to me. So a little bit of a rebellious spirit going on. And you know, all the hair metal that defines the 80s, you know, obscene stuff that went on. I mean, this guitar embodies that spirit just by its appearance, which is, you know, Steel Panther and Satchel's MO. So this guitar, I had a full-on chat video, which if you haven't seen it, I think you should. Just a beautifully playing guitar. I mean, even a chump like me can have a good time messing with and just practicing and playing with this guitar because it's just so easy to play. Just great guitar altogether. It is. I do think it's slightly overpriced, however, unlike other good value proposition guitars. This was made in also Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, right? Actually, I can't see. Yeah, it is made in Mexico. But I think it streets at $1,400. I think it would have been a good value, right around $1,200 maybe. So, but that's just one man's opinion. So that wraps up my episode 1 of my guitar collection. So you've seen quarter of my collection so far. So today was focusing on all the shredder guitars. So tomorrow, not tomorrow, next video, which will be collection episode number 2 of Chronicle of Serial Guitar Buyer series. I'll come back with the metal as guitars. So they're just full-on metal guitars, maybe not necessarily shred guitars, but just guitars that scream metal altogether. So that's gonna be the next episode. This has been a very long episode, and I appreciate if you have stuck around until the end. I appreciate your time watching. You've been great. I've been Triple G. Until next time, you guys be good humans.